grade 2, it is time for math workshop. Before we begin to learn how to make our own picture graph today, I would like you to make sure you have warmed up. Take out your spiral review book, do week 12, day 3, and then come back and we'll get started. Yesterday, you were learning about how to read picture graphs. You saw that there is always a title at the top of the graph that tells us what information is included in the graph. This particular graph has the title of Favorite Shapes in a Classroom. There it is. And there are 4 categories: circle, diamond, heart, and star. So we know that each shape represents how many people liked, or each picture in for each shape represents one person or one vote. So there were 3 circles on this graph. It means there are 3 children who chose circle as their favorite shape. Same, 4 diamonds, that means 4 children. 4 hearts, that means it was the favorite shape of 4 students, and 2 stars means it's the favorite shape for 2. We use picture graphs to show information that we collect from a survey. So if we were to survey a different classroom, yes, we would probably get different results. For instance, in this classroom, there were 5 children who liked circles, and only one child that liked diamonds, and there were 4 children who liked hearts, and there were 4 children who liked stars. When we collect information and we show it on our picture graph, then it's easy to look and decide on what are the patterns. For instance, is there any popular shape that is tied, where it's the same amount of students that like those shapes? Yeah, heart and star. What was the least favorite shape? Well, diamond only has 1, so we know it's the least favorite. What is the most favorite shape? Well, we see that circle is the favorite and has the most amount of votes. We could even ask questions like, well, how many more people liked circle than diamond? And then we can see, well, they have 1 vote in common, but circle has 1, 2, 3, 4 more votes. So circle has 4 more students that like it as its favorite shape than diamond. All picture graphs have to have a title, but depending on what information you've surveyed, it will have a different title, because we have to talk about the main idea of that picture graph. So here's a different picture graph, but this is because the survey was different. This time we interviewed students about their favorite colors. So my title has to be then favorite colors in a classroom. And instead of having shapes as the category, we can have red, blue, yellow, green as the category. Now the fun part is, what picture am I going to use to represent the information that I collect? In this case, I'm just going to use color blobs. So a red color blob for red, blue color blobs for blue, and so forth. But when we're making picture graphs, we can choose pictures that are more intricate or detailed. For instance, here, this chart is about what? The weather. Good. And the 2 categories then are how many days were sunny days and how many days were cloudy days. So I used a sun to represent sunny days and a cloud to represent cloudy days. Now you're going to make a picture graph interactive notebook page to help us remember the information we've learned about picture graphs, but also because you're going to do a quick survey and make your own picture graph. So go ahead and click here. If you need the detailed instructions for the interactive notebook page, you can look on this slide. Otherwise, we can move on to getting our page from our resource pack. So make sure to go to your resource pack and get this page, and then cut it out into these 3 large pieces and 5 smaller pieces. Do not cut these lines. This is all one rectangle. We need this line, and we need this all together and not cut out, and I'll show you why. Once you've cut it out, you're going to glue it in like this. You'll have the title, and then you'll have the information about the cat, how many students chose cat, how many students chose dog, and how many students chose bird. And we can see how many by the tally marks that are next to us. Then this big rectangle here is going to be our picture graph. We have 3 categories, the cat, the dog, and the bird. So we're going to glue those category pictures on. Now, here's the fun thing. In order to represent how many students chose cat versus how many students chose dog and birds, we're going to draw a picture of pet food. So you're going to actually draw a bag of pet food, okay? But each bag is 2. So if I put 1 bag on, that means 2 students like that. If I put 2 bags on, it means 4 students like that. 3 bags means 6 students, and so forth. Now, the final bottom piece down here is where you will record the information for the survey you decide to take, and you will have a flap that lifts up and draw your picture graph underneath that flap. You will need to come up with a question, and you'll record all of your information here. Please make sure that this flap can lift up and that you only glue right here under the question box. For my pretend survey, I asked the question, what is the best kind of potatoes? And the 3 categories I chose were mashed, baked potatoes, or French fries. I recorded how many votes by using tally marks, and then I could look at the tally marks and see how many voted for each different kind. Mashed 3, baked 6, French fries 1. Then underneath my flap, I wrote best potatoes as my title, and then I tried to draw little potatoes. Each potato represented 1 vote. You get to decide what you want to learn about your classrooms, come up with your own question, and make your own picture graph. I look forward to seeing the graphs that you make on Toddle. You will take 2 pictures of this notebook page. One with the flap down, so I can see that you filled in everything on the top, but then take 1 picture with the flap up so I can see the picture graph that you made. Have fun learning.